episode 4. We're trying to do the rotation, player, coach, so we're here with the player. I feel like I'm almost in Hoosierville for basketball. In Mississippi, you're surprised the basketball is big here, even though everyone says football is king. Previously, in one of the episodes, we talked to Coach Cowherd from Pontotoc. He grew up here, so I had to come put boots on the ground for episode 4. And we are here with someone I've been seeing on Twitter, caught my attention as far as basketball goes, with Macie Phifer. Thanks for joining me today.
Of course.
So, Cowherd told me about this place, Ingomar. He grew up here. I'm sure you know him.
Yes.
And his family. And he told me how big basketball is. And I see it's a nice facility here. And so when I looked at your Twitter, I saw you're playing volleyball, basketball, softball,
Yes.
football. No, I'm just kidding.
I would if we had it.
Okay, so, but I've seen more highlights on Twitter of basketball. So was that always your goal? Did you always want to play basketball? How'd that come about?
I actually started out cheerleading, so that's one of those things. But yeah, like you said, basketball is just really big around here. It's a big thing. We don't have football, so it's just all year. It's just anticipation. Basketball season's coming. So yeah, I've been going to games for as long as I can remember, and I've always looked up to the high school basketball players when I was in elementary school and middle school. That's all I wanted to do. And so I was fortunate enough to get to see the 16 and 17 and 18 team go on their three-peat. And I think that's when I really decided, like, hey, I want to play basketball and, be good at it. And so I never would have thought I'd be here, but I'm very blessed for sure for that. But yeah, it's just something I've always wanted to do. It's just the culture here. So.
Wow, so 16, 17, 18 in boys and girls basketball, they won the championship.
Just the girls. Just the
Okay.
girls. I got to see the 2020 team win for the boys. So it's just, I grew up around it and I got to see a lot of success, and that's when I realized I wanted to play.
Wow, that's something. So you kind of step into some large shoes to fill if you're going to play ball here.
Yes, for sure. It's a big thing. You're always, every time you step on the court, you're representing yourself, your school, and the people that played before you, and your family.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people to represent, and so it's a lot of pressure, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Nice. So do you feel like, since you play volleyball and softball, you think that's helped with your game and basketball?
For sure. Softball, it kind of helps me more with the mental side. At bats and things like that. It's easy to get in your head because it is a game of failure, and so it's easy to get in your head. And so that helps me with the mental aspect of basketball. Volleyball helps me more with my explosiveness and court vision for sure. Trying to find the open holes, things like that. So yes.
Good. And I guess getting on rebounds, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Slam dunking, even if you got the opportunity to. So this year, y'all won state championship in volleyball. You guys won state championship in basketball down in Jackson, and you were named MVP of both volleyball and basketball. So how did that feel?
It was really, really cool, honestly. But it was even more amazing what we did. It was the first volleyball state title in history for Ingomar. So that was a really big milestone for us. But then winning in basketball too, it's one of those things that never gets old. And so it was really special that we got to do it in the same year. So I can't say too much about getting MVP because I wouldn't have been in that position if it wasn't for my teammates. And they're amazing. I love each and every one of them.
Nice. So, like, maybe thinking about basketball, what's your game day routine?
Okay, so I go to school, obviously, and then normally we'll have a little bit of time. We usually have to be back around 4, so I'll go to George's, and I normally get like a hamburger, and then I'll get a milkshake, and then I'll come back up to the gym, and if I have time, I'll shoot around, and then I'll usually play some sad country or some Christian music, keep me kind of amped up for the game. And then, I know Sad Country's a little out there, but I recommend it. But then I normally start getting ready, and I'll start watching the JV games. So
Okay.
yes.
So I think when you make it to college, they're gonna tell you work on that pregame meal, right? No milkshake, no double.
Yeah, they probably
bacon.
will. It works though. It works. It really works.
So I've also seen you play AAU ball.
Yes.
Maybe describe for people watching what is AAU ball.
AAU is a league in summer, and basically you have these teams from all over the country. I've played teams as far as California, New York, all these different teams. And basically you'll have organizations, you'll have some teams that are just kind of independent teams is what they're called. And so basically they'll basically just go through these high schools and pick the best players out of each high school and put them on a team. So you're going to be playing against some of the top girls. I've played against a lot of Power 5 girls, and it's just a very high level of basketball. And it's one of those things you gotta, if you want to win and you want to be successful, it's kind of one of those things that you got to go through and you need to be exposed to. So, yes.
Do you feel like playing against that competition, you think that's helped your game through the course since you've been a freshman?
For sure. So I started playing AAU, I want to say my freshman year. I started out on Mississippi Bobcats, Northeast, and then I moved to the Alabama Southern Stars, which is an EYBL team out of Alabama. It's in Huntsville. And then I recently finished up this summer playing on their top EYBL team for 16U. So I've gotten to play a lot of different people, a lot of different teams, but as far as my game, like being translated to high school, I'd say it's definitely helped. You're playing against girls that are bigger, they're stronger, they're more faster than you, they're more skilled. So you got to find ways to score, because it's not just straight line drives and wide open threes. You gotta make something, And so it's definitely helped. The physicality and just the speed of AAU is totally different from high school ball. And I really enjoy it. I like it. It's a challenge, and so it's definitely helped me a lot. I've seen a lot of improvement in my game from freshman year to now because of playing AAU.
Nice. I guess it's kind of good going in. People think, oh, Mississippi, and then you can go in and surprise them, right?
Right.
You start
Yeah.
playing. So maybe think about like that. Surprising people. I know Ingomar's a 1A school.
Mm-hmm.
When you have success, for example, Lakers, Patriots, Yankees, when you get success, you get haters that start trying to nitpick everything. And I guess in your case, it's a small school 1A, and people say she's only having that success because she's at a 1A school. What's your comment to that? How you feel about that?
Well, I've gotten to just kind of overlook it, because it's not the first time I heard it, and it probably won't be the last. But that's a common thing, honestly, for any small school that has a successful team. It's usually because they don't play anybody, or they're just a small school. There's not very much competition. But for me, I think people that respect the game will recognize the game. And it doesn't matter what classification you're in or who you're playing. If you can play ball, you can play ball. And I think people will recognize that. But I'd also say that I can't control what classification I'm in. I went to this school since kindergarten. And so, that was before I even knew I wanted to play basketball. So, it was just, it's where God planted me in my family. And I didn't choose it to be a 1A school, but that's just what it is. So I can't control that. But our coaches, they do a very good job of getting us harder schedules and getting us to play people that are bigger than us and making us adapt. And I think that's something that they do very well. But yeah, like I said, I can't control that I'm a 1A. I go to a 1A school. I can only control how I play. And so that's what I would say to that.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't in the womb saying, Mom, I want to be born in Starkville,
Right.
I want to be born in Memphis.
Right.
That's out of your control, right?
It is. It is.
So you can only do what you're doing, you've been having success at it. And I guess once you have success, as we mentioned, puts a target on your back. But the only way to keep the haters quiet, keep winning, right?
That's right.
So I've seen, we got a couple JUCOs around here, I'm sure. They've all come out to come and take a look at you. But I've also seen some D1 schools. How many have now reached out to you at this point?
So we just finished up our second live period for AAU. So you have, or it might have been our third live period, 2nd of July. So you have a live period in May, and then you have a live period in July, 2 live periods in July. So we just finished up our second one. So I got to play in front of a lot of coaches. And so recently I've had home's been kind of blowing up, so, but I'm very blessed for that. I'm very, very blessed to have that opportunity. But yeah, I've had a lot recently, so yes.
If University of Texas comes knocking, that's for sure. No, I'm just kidding. No, I better stop. People gonna get mad at me. But have you? Of course, there's gonna be no grand reveal here. She ain't revealing where she's going. But in your mind, have you kind of, or since you've been a kid, is there a place that you've dreamed about playing? Is your mind, what do you, is there a direction you're like, okay, I'm kind of thinking about going this
Yeah,
way?
for sure. So like, I've been on a lot of campuses. I've talked to a lot of coaches, I have a general idea of what I want in a program. But at the end of the day, I'm just, leaning on God and trusting God that regardless of what I want, I'm going to end up where He wants me, and that I'm going to have peace with that decision, and that He's going to plant me where He needs me to be. So.
Nice. That's good. So whenever you make that decision, we'll be present. We want to be part of some history here.
Oh yeah.
in Ingomar, Mississippi. This year, so you got volleyball coming up again, basketball, playing softball as well, right?
Yes.
So basketball season's coming up. Obviously, the goal is to go back to back. That's the goal, as always. But is there any other personal goals you set for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. For me, I've kind of been looked as an offensive player. These past couple years, I've gotten a lot of recognition for being skilled offensively and a lot of attention. But for me, I want to be more of a defensive impact. Me and Coach Ader have had conversations about this and how that, I can impact a game just as much defensively as I can offensively. And so definitely that, but also passing. I kind of, most of the time people just tell me to get it and go, but I'd like to say I'm a pretty decent passer. I'm a pretty good passer, and I love passing it. I love making the right pass, like pretty team basketball. I love that. So definitely getting my teammates more involved, especially when it comes playoff time, we start seeing Coach Ader calls them cockamamie defenses. So, but like junk defenses, box and ones, triangles and twos. Whenever we start seeing those, it's going to be harder to just face guard me or one of my teammates or whoever, because we're getting everybody involved, and everybody has to be respected on the court. So that's definitely a goal for me.
That's nice. And I think before, when we were doing a pregame here, you have your little sister playing with you.
Yes.
How does that feel, playing with a sibling on your team?
It's fun. We usually end up being one-on-one partners. Coach Ader likes the sibling on sibling rivalry, so it gets kind of intense sometimes, but it's fun. She knows me very well, so she knows like if something's off with my shot, she's like, "Hey, do this. You got this. Like you'll start making it." She's my number one cheerleader, and that's the biggest thing about having her on the sidelines and playing with me, is that she knows me better than anybody. She can read me like a book, so she knows when I'm getting down on myself, and she's always right there, and it's so special. I love playing with my sister. It's so awesome.
That's nice. I guess when that rivalry happens, does it spill over to the house? Parents got to play referee?
Sometimes. We kind of chilled out with it now. It used to be bad, but we've kind of, just chilled. We've gotten past the point where we bicker and fight all the time. We're just cool with each other now.
Teammates now, right?
Right, teammates now.
So if you get back to Jackson again this year, when you win that championship, you gonna hit the gritty, or you gonna do the Caitlin Clark or the Angel Reese? Which player?
I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. But I like to stay pretty calm and collective. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not going to hit it in the locker room once I get back there. But when we're on the court, I try to stay calm and collective and just be respectful of the other team, especially. So.
Yeah, good sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's a big thing that we preach here, is just making sure that, because when you respect your opponent, you're respecting the game. And like I said, culture's here. You're representing a bunch of people that played before you, a bunch of people that paved the way before you. Do them justice. Do what they worked so hard for justice. Don't get a bad name, and respect them as well. So. That's a big thing around here, and I'm very blessed that that's something that we take pride in. Nice. So at the end of the podcast, I'm doing something called quick hits with people. So when I was thinking about, I like to eat at everywhere I've been around here. I just eat at different places. So I ask everybody, like, what's this place they like to go to? I'm not sure on Ingomar if we got anything here. If you like something from Dollar General, that's about all you're gonna get. I mean, I think J&J has some pizzas, but other than that, Ingomar is not the place to go. Not the place to go. So we go up a little north. We got New Albany. So what's your go-to spot up there? Okay, so pregame, like I said, George's. Gotta get George's. But if it's just casual night, after game. You're gonna find me at Macie Phifer. I love Macie Phifer. Okay. So good. Get you some extra food. It's so good. So good. Okay. We don't have a professional team in our state, but we got the Grizzlies close. I'm not sure, who's your favorite NBA team? I'm a little bit of a bandwagon, but I'm a Nuggets fan. I like Jokic. I like him. I don't know. I just like that dude. He's cool. Do you I guess having the height, what you said, working on your pass, do you try to simulate your game a little bit after him? A little bit, yes. I try to. So, always be looking at his highlight reels. Yeah. You might be doing them no-look passes, That's right. So, last thing, if you could sit down, have dinner, 5 guests, dead or alive, who would be at the dinner table with you? Jesus, for sure. That'd be awesome. Sadie Robertson. I'm a big Sadie Robertson fan. Okay. Miles Teller. That'd be a nice one. Let's see. Probably Cody Johnson. I'm a really big Cody Johnson fan. And Sabrina Ionescu. I like her. Okay. She's a hooper. Okay. All right. You a fan of WNBA? I watch a little bit of it. I keep up with the Liberty and the Dream a little bit, so yeah. Okay, that's good. We appreciate our sit down with you today. I have only seen you on Twitter, so I'm looking forward to coming out to highlight a game of y'all's team, whoever you guys are going to be playing. And so this year's a big year for you. It is. It's your junior year. It's pretty much fine-tuning the last things before you start signing letters in your senior year, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you got a lot of pressure on you, I'm sure. A little bit. But everything's going to work out smooth, right? That's right. Definitely. Macie, thanks so much for joining me today. We appreciate everybody tuning in today. I'm going to move on to episode 5 after this. I'm not sure if we're going to go back coach. I'm trying to mix it up, but we'll see who's going to be joining us on the podcast for episode 5. Until then, what's your sporte? This is Leo. I'll be talking to y'all next week.